Hi, my name is Monica Wharton, and I'm the Student Assistance Program Specialist at Pleasanton Unified School District. Today's workshop is about embracing wellness. So we will look at 6 different dimensions of wellness and then really dive into different ideas and strategies that we can incorporate into our daily lives to really build on our own self-care. Let's start by examining our internal batteries. How are you currently feeling? How are you feeling this week, this month, or even this past year? We know that 2020 was a challenging year full of unexpected and difficult things, and this may be the perfect time to really examine different areas of wellness and what we can do to improve our self-care. So, understanding what wellness is can really help us set priorities and goals for ourselves. You'll notice on this wellness wheel there are 6 dimensions listed: environmental, emotional, intellectual, physical, social, and spiritual. I will note that other wellness wheels also include financial and occupational wellness, but for the purposes of this presentation, I'll be looking at these 6 areas. And so, as we move through the presentation, we'll look at what each area means, and then we'll look at specific ideas that you can hopefully incorporate into your own self-care repertoire. As you look at the graphic on this slide, I want you to keep in mind that self-care can look very different to you compared to other people, and it can also look different to you at different times. So just make sure you think about what feels good to you in the moment and what seems like the best way to take care of yourself. As we move through this presentation, we'll identify a specific area of wellness, we'll explore what it looks like, and then I'll share some ideas with you for self-care. Let's start by looking at spiritual wellness, which can be defined as expanding a sense of purpose and meaning in life. So what does spiritual wellness look like? This can really look many different ways. For example, practicing gratitude. Recognizing the things that bring you joy and things you're grateful for is a great way to identify your own values. Mindfulness. Living in the moment can teach you to appreciate the little things in life and help you notice the many pleasures that feed your soul. Faith community. Your religious faith, values, beliefs, principles, and morals may help define your spirituality by bringing meaning and purpose to your life. Yoga and meditation. Practicing yoga and meditation can reduce stress as well as emotional and physical strain and may lead to an improved sense of well-being. Giving back. Giving back to others through donating time, money, or other resources can provide you with a way to align your values with your actions. And self-acceptance. Being comfortable with who you are and practicing affirmations can help you feel at peace with yourself so that you can focus on being good enough. This slide is where I give you some ideas, and I would love for you to explore each of these links and really find things that resonate with you. The first 2 links are apps. The first one is Grateful app, and the second one is the Calm app, both of which give you opportunities to really reflect. The first one, you are reflecting on things that you're grateful for. It's a really cool app. You can set reminders for a specific time of day where you get a little ping on your phone to just sort of jot down some things that you're grateful for that day. The Calm app has meditations, mindfulness activities, calming music, and so forth to really help with your well-being and your sense of peace. Personal Values to Be list is a great little activity that I did with some students earlier this year where we sort of examined the idea of to be lists versus to-do lists. And whereas we all know how to make to-do lists where we create an itemized list of things that we need to accomplish, the to be part of this activity is really where we stop and think about how we want to be. So perhaps for the day, we want to be more thoughtful or more patient. But it really helps you reflect on what your values are and how you would like to be in the world. The fourth link takes you to a list of various volunteering opportunities. So if your spiritual connectedness involves giving back, this is a great resource list for you of various donation and volunteering opportunities within the Bay Area. And finally, the fifth link takes you to a page where there's a really great video that I would love for you to take a look at called Kindness Boomerang. And then it also lists a bunch of random acts of kindness ideas, which are mostly free. They don't cost any money, but they're just great ways to make you really feel good and to give back. So those are some great ideas for you regarding your spiritual wellness. The next area of wellness that we'll look at is environmental wellness. And this can be defined as good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. What does environmental wellness look like? Well, of course, it can look many different ways, and I've picked 3 different things to focus on. For example, gardening or being outdoors. You can take a walk outdoors, soak in the sunshine and vitamin D, and when the weather allows, explore the enjoyment that gardening can bring. It could also be inside, home decor, bringing the outdoors inside, decorating your home for the holidays, for example, organizing and decluttering your spaces. And then the third example is creating a peaceful environment with music and aroma, using a diffuser with essential oils or candles or incense or any kind of aromatherapy can really help create an inviting space. Now for some ideas. So the first idea is to organize. You could pick just one space, a cupboard, closet, drawer, to organize over the next week. Purging and organizing will feel great, and if you can, donate things you no longer use or need. The second idea is gardening, perhaps creating succulent gifts for family and friends. I've included a little video that one of our parents at Foothill made for us on how to propagate succulents. Foothill students did a giving back activity where they created and donated little succulent plants for some of our community members, and that was a really rewarding project. And the third idea is to make a music playlist on Spotify or whatever music app you use that makes you feel good and share it. Or better still, make a collaborative music playlist with friends. It really can help boost your mood and make you feel great. The next area is emotional wellness, which is coping effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. So what does emotional wellness look like? As with the other areas, it can take on a lot of different dimensions. For example, having a positive outlook. So looking at things in a positive light and highlighting the good to keep things in perspective. And this includes eliminating negative self-talk. Stress reduction. So not all stress is bad. We know that some stress can actually spark us into action, but really learning healthy ways to address too much stress. Rest and relaxation. Making sure that you make time for me and make sure it's a priority to be present and ready for tackling important responsibilities. Seeking balance. Finding a work-life balance is so important. It helps you manage your time and allows you to be fully present in the different realms of your life. Coping with adversity. This past year has been challenging, so finding healthy ways to cope with loss and adversity is really important. And then accepting support. So know when to reach out to others for support. Call on your friends and family for help, or seek professional support. You do not have to do it all on your own. And we're going to look at some ideas in the next slide. These are 4 of my favorite ideas for this area. The first one is an app called Think Up, and it's where you write affirmations to remind yourself how worthy you are. The second idea is journaling. We know that journaling can be really cathartic. It can really make you feel better, and it can also help get those thoughts that you have swirling inside your head out of your head and onto paper. And the link takes you to some journal prompts to really help you focus on an area that you want to write about. The next idea is coloring. I have included some printable coloring pages if you like to color in real life. And there's also a color therapy app where you can pick and color different designs, and that is really therapeutic as well. And then the fourth idea is reaching out for additional professional support. So we have a link to Care Solace, which is an organization that can help you connect with a therapist. It's free through PUSD and that link. And the other way is to reach out to one of our social workers for help accessing either therapeutic services, therapy, or other community resources. Our next area of focus is intellectual wellness. And this is recognizing creative abilities and finding ways to expand knowledge and skills. So, what does intellectual wellness look like? It could be time management, so creating a schedule or planning things ahead of time and making to-do lists can be really helpful. Learning a new skill, so devoting time to learning something you've wanted to or rediscover something you used to love, for example, playing an instrument or painting, and sharing your ideas. So if you know how to do something really well, why not share your talents and great ideas with others? Another thing is to keep challenging yourself. So push yourself to do things you've been putting off or have been too busy, apprehensive, or scared to try, like studying a new language. Discover and explore. Visit new places, virtually of course at this time, or explore new topics or areas of interest. So read more or explore the many YouTube how-to videos that are out there. And whatever your profession, lifelong learning can really be wonderful. So grow professionally by studying current trends, new ideas, and the latest research. I have some really fun ideas for intellectual wellness. The first link is a link to creating a schedule. This one isn't as exciting, but it's really helpful, and it's something that you and your kids can use. We know that creating and sticking to a schedule can have so many benefits to just feeling less overwhelmed and so forth. So this just gives you some examples of how to do that. The second link is 3 different sites that have a bunch of creativity online classes. Most of these are fee-based, but in some cases the fees are not really that high. So for example, Creative Live lists all kinds of classes that you can take in your own time. For example, photo and video, money and life, art and design, and so forth. So lots of different ways to explore your creativity. And this third link is actually free online classes by renowned institutions. So for example, you can take one from a university, a renowned university, Harvard, some overseas universities as well, Berkeley, on a variety of different topics. And these are free. If you wanted to get a certificate in some cases, there is a fee for that. Otherwise, if you just want to take the class for growth, they are free. So some pretty cool ideas here as well. The next area is physical wellness. And this is recognizing the need for physical activity, healthy foods, and sleep. So what does physical wellness look like? It is eating well, moving and grooving. And of course, this is finding whatever resonates with you. It could be a yoga class, it could be walking or hiking, whatever helps you keep moving. Having regular checkups, medical checkups. Of course, keeping great hygiene now more than ever with hand washing and so forth. Relaxation, of course, and getting quality sleep. Okay, so here are some great ideas for physical wellness. So you can take an online fitness class. I've listed some free resources for you, live stream workouts, online workouts that don't cost you anything, things like yoga and stretching and so forth. The next one is my FitnessPal app. There is a free version of this app, and there's also a paid version. But this can help improve your nutrition by helping you track what you eat and really being more mindful about what you put in your body. And then, of course, working on your sleep. I know that this is something many of us struggle with, and there are some apps that can help with this. The Calm app, Headspace, Pazeze. These are apps that either play calming music or have some meditations to help you relax and get ready for sleep. I wanted to spend just a couple more minutes talking about sleep because I think it's so important. I think many of us don't realize how much we really need in terms of amount of sleep and how little sleep we're actually getting. So for most adults, 7 to 9 hours is what we really should be striving for. And when I surveyed my last audience, most people were getting a lot less than that. In fact, there were very, very few people who were actually getting 7 hours of sleep a night. So this is something a lot of us struggle with. Here are a few tips for better sleep. And of course, I could spend an entire workshop talking about sleep, but just a couple things to remember. Optimizing your bedroom environment is super important. So things like keeping your room dark, keeping the temperature on the cooler side, playing soothing music before bedtime, using a diffuser with essential oils like lavender, using a white noise machine. Those can just kind of help your environment be optimized for sleep. Other things to keep in mind are reducing blue light exposure before bed. So iPads and iPhones and other electronics, really minimizing that as much as you can. Charging phones and electronics away from your bedside so that you don't grab for them in the middle of the night if you wake up in the middle of the night. Also avoiding caffeine after around 3 or 4 in the evening. Avoiding late evening eating is a good idea too. And then also taking a relaxing bath or shower right before bed can really help get your body more relaxed for sleep. Doing a sleep meditation can be really helpful, and I've linked in about a 10-minute or so sleep meditation here for you. And then also practicing progressive relaxation. And I've included a video here as well, which is about 6.5 minutes long. And then also another really great tip is trying to go to bed, to sleep and to wake up at roughly the same time every day. This can really, really work wonders for keeping your sleep-wake cycle as consistent as possible. The final area of wellness that we'll look at is social wellness. And this is developing a sense of connection, belonging, and a well-developed support system. So what does social wellness look like? Of course, in a pandemic, social wellness can look a little different, but there are some universal truths that are consistent no matter what. So for example, having a supportive collaborative work team is a really great way to have social wellness. Spending quality time with your family and friends, playing collaborative online games like trivia night, Zoom, morning coffee, or happy hour, things that still connect you even during a pandemic when everything is virtual, or many things are virtual. Participating in online clubs or discussion groups or interest groups, that can be another great way to stay connected. And then connecting with people via social media to share pictures, stories, and events. And having a workout buddy or a community of fitness friends can be another great way to enhance your social wellness. I'd like to spend just a moment talking about social media. I've heard from many parents and many adults that we're spending a lot more time on social media, mostly because we're home a lot more. And I want to just remind you what I tell the students that I work with, which is to remember your digital footprint and really be cognizant and mindful of what you're putting out there into the social media universe. So before you post anything, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said right now? And does this need to be said by me? There's sometimes things that really don't need to be said, in which case don't post anything at all. But if it's something that you feel very passionately about and you do want to comment on it, then think about how you can respond rather than react to a post. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of polarization going on in the world right now that I think it's really noteworthy to just pause and really think about how you respond and what you put out there in social media. When it comes to social wellness, I really wanted to hear from you about ways that you connect with your friends and family. And so I created this Padlet where you can really look at different ideas that people have shared that they do connecting with family and friends. And I would love for you to add to this virtual space. You can click on the plus sign and create your own little Padlet. And we can sort of have a collection of different ideas. And then, in addition to the ideas that you come up with, I've also linked additional resources here. Things like our wellness website, parent resources, some of my favorite wellness apps, wellness and self-care tips for teen or resources for teens, hotlines and support information, emotional wellness toolkit, and so much more. So please feel free to take a look at these different links. These family fun resources were submitted by Vicki Abeles. And I hope that there are some ideas here that our families can also look into. And if anyone has any questions or would like to connect with me, my email is over here. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for spending the time to look through or to sit through this entire webinar.